This morning we are leaving the awesome base backpackers in the city center of Rotorua and we are making our way to Taupo. And on the way we are going to stop at New Zealand Riverjet.
Got my cracks on. This is the most squeezed you have been.
There are two options you can do with New Zealand Riverjet. You can be doing the squeeze, which is going to a natural geothermal hot pool down a canyon called the Squeeze, or you can be visiting a geothermal park called Oraki Korako.
Since we've already been to Oraki Korako at the beginning of our trip in Rotorua, we are opting for the Squeeze. It's an adventure that is not to be missed. The trip starts with a scenic yet super speedy ride on the mighty Waikato River. The Waikato River is super long. It's actually in fact the longest river in New Zealand, and I definitely can tell why it's called the mighty Waikato. It's super wide and has a super strong current. But enough superlatives, let's talk about Pete. Pete is our driver and guide, and along the way he shares with us the history of the area.
They have a really straight trunk, and they will go into the lumber or the timber industry for building supplies.
On top of giving us plenty of historical insight about the area, Pete tells us that we're gonna get plenty of pictures opportunities as well. Because on the way back he's gonna kick it up a gear and we're gonna have a thrill ride, so if we want to take some pictures it's now or never. And there is really plenty of pictures opportunity between the beautiful tree-lined river, the geothermal land and the stunning huge gorge that we're finally stopping at.
This is the Tutukau Gorge. Now this area had a lot of Māori people living here before the coming of the Europeans. It was considered to be a great place to live. Many reasons, one of them being the thermal ground. They could build their houses on top of the thermal ground, so they gave them one of the earliest forms of underfloor heating. And they could also cook directly in the steam bores, so they could just put their food underneath the ground and would just cook without the need for a fire.
The Tutukau Gorge is seriously impressive, with gorge walls reaching as high as 15 meters tall. And the further we get into that gorge, the more we notice that geothermal activity. And as we approach Oraki Korako, the geothermal park, half of our crew are getting off to go visit the park, while the rest of us are going to the Squeeze. Actually, if you want to check out Oraki Korako in another one of our videos, just check out the link in the card above. But for us, we are starting our Squeeze.
Ooh, it's really squishy as well.
Now we've been warned that the water level inside the canyon, which is called the Squeeze, is a little deeper than the usual. Usually it's up to knee to waist deep, but for us today we're going to be up to our necks in it, literally. So the adventure begins.
You can touch the sides on both sides, so just take it easy. And
the Squeeze is basically a gigantic chasm. If you guys remember, we actually did an entire episode about chasm when we were making our way down to Milford Sound in the Southland. We'll link up to the video right now. But basically, this Squeeze is the epicest adventure to date. Because of the recent rain, it is a struggle to make our way through it, and we genuinely have to squeeze ourselves through, and the water is getting even warmer as we're getting close.
Nearly there, Robin. You can stop crying now.
Nearly there, Laura. You can stop crying now.
As we're finally exiting the squeezing part of the Squeeze, we are now making our way up the little stream toward the waterfall section where we're going to be spending the rest of our afternoon. It's a really fun trek through the native jungle, made even more fun by our group.
you might like to do it in couples, go
Yes.
in periods of two. Like go up there and get your experience under the falls.
Yeah.
I'll come up and take some photographs of all of you, so maybe you have two at a time.
Oh my gosh, it's so hot! It feels really hot!
The waterfall is super powerful, it seriously washes us down. It's quite hard to even just stand under those waterfalls, plus it's super hot at 32 degrees. I really have to learn how to walk with this croc thing.
After that insane adventure, it's time to relax in the natural geothermal hot pool at the top of the waterfall. It's absolutely amazing to bathe in this, what feels like a secret spot surrounded by native forest, and even the birds have come to check us out. We spend a good 20 minutes bathing in the hot pool before making our way back through the squeeze.
Who's drunk?
has a bottle of French liqueur, right?
Robin is having a seriously hard time with those crocs. Making our way back through the squeeze is just as adventurous as it was on the way in, and yet again we are up to our necks in the water because of the recent rainfall. Luckily, because of the way that all the rocks are shaped on the side with this sort of wavy motion, there's lots of natural footholds to help us get through. For us, this sort of adventure is really starting to feel like business as usual.
So I'm not touching the floor right here whatsoever.
You will do shortly.
For some reason, I've just got really hungry all of a sudden.
Yeah, I would not mind some food right here.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned that before, but our entire group is super fun, everybody is super banterful, and it makes it such an amazing afternoon.
How long have you guys been together?
3.5 years-ish.
Does that all the time?
Yes.
Wrapping up the squeeze section of our tour, we are making our way back toward the jet boat, and then we're picking back up the rest of our tour from Orake Korako, where they got the chance to experience this awesome geothermal landscape. And as promised, we are in for an amazing adventure ride on the way back. Peter told us when we were making our way toward the squeeze that we will have plenty of time to take pictures, because on the way back we will have absolutely no time to take pictures. It's speedy, it's 360-degree spins after 360-degree spins, and it's the thrill of a lifetime. And after a last spin, we are finally making it back to the base of New Zealand Riverjet, where we're going to be grabbing lunch and watch the picture of the day with the rest of the tour.
Come on.
That's what it's gonna be like.
Excited about it or just nervously laughing?
Nervously laughing.